after taking all the cables inside, making sure everything fits snugly. Hey guys, welcome to Life of P&K. There might be a little bit of an echo for the beginning of this video because I'm sitting in an empty room. I would like this to be my potentially my new office space, let's say, in the house. So right now it's empty. There's nothing around. You might hear the dog, he's kind of running down the hallway. But I want this to be kind of like a little office room for maybe video recording for now because it's empty. But I wanted to make this video because I was looking for a product. As you guys know from previous videos, Kay and I purchased a new home and we're very happy with the home. However, oh, there's Bonbon just playing around. However, we have to change the locks. And I was looking around, he's playing. It's, by the way, it's his birthday, so he turned 1 year old today, and this is his little gift. But as I was saying, we wanted to change the locks, and I was trying to find, I wanted to get a ring as well. They have, the house came with a camera, but you have to register for alarm.com, and it's just a whole mess. So I didn't want to deal with this. I wanted to change the lock. I also wanted to get a camera. But to get the ring, you actually need to register, pay a monthly membership, and so on. I was trying to avoid that. So I was trying to think, okay, what kind of smart lock they can get? They can also get a camera. And I'll say this, I'm not sponsored by them. I did try to reach them to see if they wanted me to review their product. They said nothing. So I'm still doing it anyway. They have not sent me this for free. I had to pay full price. I believe it was $4.99. And I purchased the Lockly Vision Elite Video Smart Lock. And from what I've read online so far, it's a really good lock. I'm very excited to try and install it, and this is what this video is going to be about. I'm going to open the package so you guys can see what's inside, and I'm going to install it so you guys are going to see step by step. Here's the box. It's very well packaged, so you just take this out. We'll set it up right there in the background. It says right here, this side up, so we'll leave this side up. Let me set the camera so you guys can see what's inside the box once you open it. Okay, let's open the box. We have a little helper. They have a nice saying here, like the Lockly Promise. And here's the inside of the box. I'll set it up like this. I believe this is to watch a step-by-step installation. This is also to download the latest manuals. If you want to do this, you can scan this RFID code with your camera. And inside we have a congratulations letter. I'll just push this away. Welcome, start here. So I'm guessing this will probably tell you how to install the lock. Yep, you can see here. It just says how to install the lock itself. Gives you a couple videos where you can obviously scan this code. And this FAQ here will guide you through the steps by scanning this little code here. So we don't need that. There's the installation guide. I'm actually probably going to have to use this. I'll try to figure it out, but they have some templates if you have to cut the lock or you have to make a hole in the door and so on. So they have this. I hope I don't have to do this because I don't believe I have the right tools, but we'll see. We'll do it all together. This is the user manual. We'll have to look at this after we install the lock. And here's an offline access code, I guess, or guide, or how to do it. Yep, this says if you have guests, you can hang on the door. Basically, it looks like this. This, if you have an Airbnb, this might be very helpful. I don't. Okay, let's open the real thing. On the back of this, there is an activation card. You guys can kind of see it. I don't want to share that because there might be some like a serial number or something that might be only related to my lock, so I just don't want to share that on the camera. But it's basically a card that you scan using your phone, your camera app, to activate your lock. So I'll take this out, and here's inside the box. Let's see what this is. So the first item, by the picture, it looks like it might be like a Wi-Fi booster in case it's needed. I'm curious to know what this is exactly. Then let's see, is the second item. I believe this is part of the lock. And you guys can see it's very well packaged. Yep, this is a baggie with the lock necessities. Bonbon is trying to help. Or he wants to eat it. But yeah, you can see this is, I believe, yeah, this is it looks like the back part of the lock maybe. Or some, yeah, this looks like the back part of the lock. where you put the battery, and then the cover on the top, and this goes to the front. So I'll put it back in the baggie for now. Then let's see the next part. This, it looks like to be the 2 keys, the deadbolts, a bunch of materials, some connecting wires, and so on. So this is another important piece. One is inspecting the actual box as well. Yeah, one, it's a really nice box, isn't it? I'm really loving how they've packaged the actual lock. There's another part of the lock, as you guys can see from the back. It looks like it goes to the back. I believe this might be the battery. Yep, I think it is. And then the final piece, the final boss is, and this is really heavy, but it's the front, I believe the front of the lock. Yep, it's gonna go like this. But yeah, this is basically what's in the box. Very well, very nicely packaged. You have the back, where it is gonna go in the back of the door. You have your, I guess, metal brackets. The front of the lock, like a Wi-Fi extension connector. I'm not sure exactly what this is. The battery and accessories. Basically, this is all that's in the box. Again, very nice package. This is the Lockly. So far, it looks really good. I can't wait to put it on the door. So let's go do it right now. Okay, guys, I got comfortable. This is my front door. So the first thing I have to do is actually remove this, which is going to be interesting. There's a couple bolts here. Lockly recommends to have a Phillips and a flathead. I have both here on this little tool, so this will be very helpful. So I'll try to remove this on my own time. Hopefully it's going to be quick, or quicker than expected, but we'll see. Okay, and I tried to add as much light as here as possible. This is inside the house, obviously, so it's almost getting late at night. But I removed the original lock, removed the deadbolt, because I thought maybe I can use the same deadbolt. I didn't want to try it, so I'm going to use the one that comes with the lock. It's really easy to remove everything. So what I'm going to try to do now is install the Lockly lock. So we're going to start step by step. I'm going to have to read the guide because I'm not a professional lock installer. So I'm going to mess up a couple times probably. So I want to read the guide and make sure I do everything correctly. And again, if it's a fresh new door with no holes, no space for the deadbolt, you can use this template that they give you, and basically you can cut the hole based on what the door needs. I'm hoping this will fit. It looks like it should. I'm hoping the hole is big enough. Maybe it's not. Hopefully it doesn't need to be any bigger than this, but we'll find out. But they give you this great template, which will be very helpful. I guess it goes like this. Pretty cool. So here's actually what came into the accessory box. You have a couple wires. You have this, I believe, yeah, this is for the front of the door. Hopefully I don't have to re-drill this. And there's the deadbolt. So this is what we're gonna need first. And I hope I don't need any tools, because I have none for this. I have none to actually drill or make holes. So guys, this is the deadbolt. It comes like this. So initially, it didn't fit here. You can see it's a little bit longer. So what they do is actually, it's a really cool design. You have to kind of press it and it gets smaller. So it kind of goes like that and it just fits perfectly here. So this will be great. One thing I have to do is extend the deadbolt. They say extend the deadbolt before installation. So I'm gonna try to do this now to see if I can. Yep, there we go. It's gotta go right. So this is what it's gonna look like. And next thing I have to do is install it there. So guys, you just gotta be careful with the wire. First, I would say put the wire through and then put this in. It fits perfectly and it should fit snug with your door. There you go, and there's the wire. This has to go inside. And you can see here on this side, it fits super snug with this. I think my hole is smaller on the frame, but we'll see about that. One quick correction, guys. There's a thing, I don't know if you can see it, but it says up. So I have to flip this deadbolt around, I believe. This has to go up. This little plate, or this little mechanism has to be up. So this is going the wrong way right now. Next thing is I took this metal plate out. This one should fit in here, no problem. Yep, it fits here. One concern I have, and that's specifically to my door, I had this problem with other lock as well. This deadbolt is going too far out. Not sure if there's an adjustment, I hope there is. but this is not drilled as deep as it is when they installed this door originally. So I might have to do this myself to drill it more, or this might have an adjustment, this specific deadbolt. But anyway, I'm going to install this metal plate. It also came with this nice plastic portion where you can put it in here as well if you have the space big enough. It's not, it's a little bit smaller as you can tell. So I just have to go with this plate for now. And it's really easy to put it all together. The screws that came with my deadbolt, I'm going to use those. They're a little bit longer for my door, so I'm going to use those. And real quick, another thing I like is this is a 3M tape or some type of tape behind it, so you just have to peel this white plastic that's covering it, and it's gonna fit even so much better and snug on the door. Okay, so you can see this is in place. The red dot is up here. Same thing here. Red dot is up here, you can tell, there it is. So they should match. I believe this is some type of a sensor. And it goes like this. And it fits very nicely. But hear me out, I have two concerns. And not because of the design of this, but because of the design of my door, or whoever did it previously when they built the house, they didn't do such a great job. This is too shallow, so I have to make the hole deeper. And another issue is the Lockley lock, I believe the actual, the whole casing, it might interfere with the door handle. So we'll see how it goes. But on to the next step. So guys, a couple things before I continue. You gotta make sure all the wires is ran underneath the deadbolt, just like this. The deadbolt has to be open, put position in a vertical position, because this would have to be installed in vertically like this. You gotta make sure it aligns. It doesn't quite align that well with my door. There is a little bit of space here that's round, and the previous template was kind of like more like a rectangular. But otherwise it fits very well. There's adhesive taping here. I would say just make sure it fits before you remove that, so then you can kind of stick it or glue it, and make sure this is always in vertical position and the wires underneath. There's a lot of wires. After we put in the front plate, we have to put in this rear mounting plate. It has to go like this. The wires are going to come through here. So let me try to do this portion. That's going to be the most difficult, I think. And the last itty bitty wire. The dogs are trying to walk outside too. Oh yeah, that's right, we have two now. Kay is laughing in the back of the camera. So basically, we have to make sure it aligns properly before we remove the tape on the back. So let's do one of these. So I had to get up because this is a little bit easier. So basically you just have to send the wires through here with the deadbolt. You gotta make sure everything aligns or it's fitting properly. And then there's adhesive tape back here that I'm just gonna remove. And the dogs ran outside. There've been a handful for sure. And then once it aligns again, you can use the adhesive tape. I just gotta make sure it's fitting correctly. And also make sure you guide your wires away from the deadbolt because this will be spinning. So I want to make sure it's done well. I think just like that. Try to have it right in the middle with the wires coming here on the side in the little like nook or crevice like that. So this should be good. It's not aligned perfectly, I think, but now it's stuck. Oh, now I can't remove it. Well, this is as best as it gets. I'm gonna try to align it a little bit better. Next step would be, one key thing is, if you guys already had a lock previously, there should be two holes here when you're taking it out. And those holes will be helpful to align this specific template. So you can use these. They're labeled F, or they're these two long bolts. Basically what came out from my lock, these are a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna use the one that they're providing with this lock, and they're labeled F. The bolts are in, and just use a screwdriver. You can use an actual like tool, like a drill or something, but I'd rather use the screwdriver because this is a delicate process in my mind. And this also means that the plate is actually very well aligned because these are previous holes that were there before this lock. And don't use too much ooga doogas. Just try to make it tight, but don't go crazy and break something. This little rat is very, very adventurous. and he wants to explore, learn all the things, and know. But next step is to test the keys, make sure they work, and make sure the deadbolt is not rubbing on anything and all the wires are through correctly. So let's go ahead and do that. And here, the nice thing about it is this is a solar panel where it charges the battery, which is really cool. And you just flip this down. Look at him. He just wants to explore. He just pushes himself through the door. And then you can plug in the key, make sure it works. So, no rubbing. Perfect. And then let's make sure the second key works. Again, it works very nicely. I'm gonna close the door, make sure it works. Beautiful. Again, it's not going all the way because I have to drill a bigger hole here. But overall it works, no grinding, nothing like that. And I'll need some paint. They also say before you continue the installation, make sure that the bolt is out. I'm not sure why they want this the whole time, but we'll leave it and close the panel. Okay, let's go back inside, guys. Next thing we have to do is connect all these wires and the deadbolt pin into this right here. It shouldn't be too bad. One thing is don't try to touch the pins inside here, don't break it. So I have to see how to connect all the things. This one, the white one, will go right there, right here. There is this little pin which will go into this one, and I have to figure out where to put this guy. It's a good question, to be honest. I'm not sure where to put that guy. And then we have also this pin to connect somewhere. Actually, this pin I think goes here, but there has to be some more. Oh, there's some more pins here. There's this, we have this connector, we have this connector. So there's two, the big one there, and then trying to see where this kind of like a cable connector goes. Oh, I found it. It's hiding behind this little tab. You can probably remove it for better access. I'm trying not to remove it, but it's hiding back here. Yep, you can see it. It's coming out. Because I really don't want to remove this pin or this little plate that covers, but I might have to. This is really hard to get. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So I took it out. So there we go. So this goes to here. This goes to here. This one goes to here. And then this one goes to here. So these two, this one to that, and that to that. Let's get it done. This is what it really should look like. Kind of try to tuck the cables away so they don't get pinched. And then you have to make sure this deadbolt assembly, I guess, or this deadbolt like lever is vertical, so that way you can plug it in there. So that's what I'm gonna do next. This is probably the most difficult part, is trying to figure out the wires, not to pinch anything. It's really, you might need someone's help to do this, because someone needs to hold this while you're putting these two bolts marked H in there. They're very small bolts. They come in the package as well with an H and W. I guess this is W. So I put them here. So this is all set. The back plate is done. It actually fits really well. I was concerned. I was flipping this thing around. I was concerned that it's going to interfere with this. It doesn't. It looks a little bit different because this is black. This is kind of like silver. But I might actually paint this. We'll see what we're going to do. And this is what kind of it looks like on the outside. Again, black, silver. Might fix this. Might paint it black. So let's continue with the next stages. One thing to note, based on the instructions, is it's saying that the battery has to be fully charged, or to ensure the battery is fully charged. I'm not sure why. I don't have the time right now to fully charge the battery because it's getting dark outside and I need to make sure this lock works so my door can lock. So hopefully the battery is it comes fully charged, but let's try to connect it. It basically connects really simple here. There was a little piece of paper here. You just plug it in. There's no wires to connect or anything. It's just like that. Boom, connected. You saw this luckily lit up red. It says it's recommended to tighten the screws here. There should be, I believe, two. No, it's actually only one back there. It's already making noises. And the outside is lit up. I'm not sure how the battery is though. Yep, you can charge the battery here basically. And I believe they have this in the packaging too. They have the connector you need to charge. Sorry, it's a little bit of a mess here, but if I'm not mistaken, I saw it somewhere. It might be here. Yep, it's right here. So you can just use a USB connector and charge it. And I believe you have 2 batteries. Oh, I just realized. So look at this, guys. They give you 2 batteries. Not a lot of people would do this for a lock like this. Usually you get 1. This is cool because you can just switch batteries, charge this one, wait for this one to drain, switch it again. Hopefully the batteries don't drain too quick. I don't think they will, depending on the usage. But you have 2 batteries. I'm very happy about that. And this is the full setup, sort of. I have to remove some of the stickies and stuff like that. Now that everything is installed, they provide this little pin in the bag, and what you have to do is plug it in here and hold it for 10 seconds. And this will make the actual lock reset itself. There you go, you can take it out and starting to do a self-check. Make sure everything's working properly. Okay, and now we have to do a couple self-checks too. First is to make sure this lock works fine. And actually I'm going to do this inside, that way the dog doesn't come out. But it's closing, it's saying lockly, and then locks, unlocks. Now we know it's closed, and it's locked, and it works perfectly fine. One thing I want to check is the outside. There's a couple things that we can do to make sure this locks. And guys, I'm not sure if the battery, oh no, it's still working. So they said that, let's say, we leave this open, and if I press, yep, for some reason though the screen is not coming on. I guess to maybe double tap, because when you unlock it, it changes this, and if I press this, yep, it locks. And then another thing is we can do, this is not set up, this is the fingerprint. You have 3 tries. So then guys, to enable the video connect, we have to set this guy up somewhere. And they recommend to put it somewhere discreetly because it does have a card that it uses to record the memory. Oh, there you go, it locks by itself after a while. That's pretty cool. But we have to set this up to make sure we have the live video and the recording as well. This is basically what it looks like. It kind of looks like a router. Basically power goes here, line connection goes here. So it has to constantly feed from constant connection. It just can't do Wi-Fi. And then the TF card goes in here. I'm not sure, I haven't seen the TF card just in the package yet. I might have just not seen it yet. I believe it does come with one, but this is what it looks like. I'm gonna connect it somewhere, I'm gonna hide it in the house. And then the next thing what I want to do is, after everything is connected, because the installation is the hardest part, the installation is done. Actually, it was pretty simple, to be honest. If I didn't have to record, it would be done in like 10 minutes tops. I want to set everything up, and then the next portion where we're going to continue this video is actually setting up the lock to work properly. So I'm going to dig into it a little bit, and then tomorrow I'm going to come back because it's already dark outside. It's pretty dark here, it's getting late, so I'm going to come back tomorrow and finish the setup of this video. So now that I had a couple of days with the actual Lockly, and I actually wanted to see what it is to use day to day. So that's why I didn't want to make the video, the review video or the final say of the video right after I installed the actual lock, because I didn't know actually what's going to be like. Is it going to be something like the Ring? Is it going to be like hard to lock, unlock, and so on? I just wanted to do some day-to-day activity with it, so I can give you guys the full personal review of how I like it. So the first thing I want to do is actually go over the app before I go to the actual day-to-day usage of the lock. The app is very intuitive, very simple to use. All you have to do is download it from the App Store. It's called the Lockly, or it's called Lockly, or the Lockly app. And let me show you what it actually looks inside the app. So this is the app. You can see my property, my room. Actually, it's not my room, it's actually the front door. And here it is. We're gonna get into the actual lock and what it sees. And I don't know if you hear it, it's down below, downstairs. It actually makes a clicking noise every time you touch that. Some people might find that annoying. I personally like it because it makes sense. If you use this lock for like an Airbnb and stuff like that, you might forget to remove someone's access code. So it makes sense that you can see this video if that's the case, or if you can hear that noise if that's the case. But here, let me show you what it looks like, kind of like when you use it as a ring. You can see right now it's raining outside. You can see the time. It's obviously today at 3 o'clock. You can use the microphone. There's a microphone there. You can lock it, unlock it, and you can hang up. And hang up is basically goes back to here. There's some logs. You can see there was a motion detected earlier when someone delivered a package, and you can actually access the video, and you can see it. It's right there. The person is actually looking at it, make sure their address number is correct. They delivered the package, they took the picture, and they left. So this is great. To me this is excellent because it functions like the Ring. That's why people buy the Ring, they pay the monthly subscription. To me, this is amazing. It functions like the Ring, it records, you can see the lifetime feed if for some reason the lock says, oh, it was tempered or anything like that. And also you can see, it tells you unlock manually, it tells you, and you can see I did it, unlocked it with a fingerprint. This is another thing I want to talk to you guys about in a second. It auto locks very well. I have it set on 30 seconds, so after 30 seconds, if I forget to lock it, it locks. So there's myriad of settings you can go to. You can name it differently. You can access the camera settings. There's different settings. You can access the push alerts and so many things. There's so many settings you can change here and personalize it to yourself. Again, the lock, the control, it's pretty simple, very intuitive. So this is when it comes to the app. And I think that the app overall, it's very simply designed, but effective enough. It's nothing fancy, but it works. And I really would give it a good grade because, again, the simplicity. You don't need anything complicated for this lock to function properly. Now, let's talk about the actual lock from the day-to-day usage. At first, it's a little bit difficult to get used to how the lock functions. You should read the manual. I'll suggest for sure to read the manual. A lot of people are going to think the lock turns on when you tap the screen. It doesn't. It actually, you have to like slide your hand on, like let's say this is a screen. You have to slide your hand, and that's when the numbers come in where you can enter your access code. I love the fingerprint sensor. That's probably my favorite part of the lock because you set up the fingerprint sensor. It asks you to touch the fingerprint sensor a couple times, maybe 5 or 6 times. You touch it different areas, so it captures your full fingerprint. And then it's really simple. Instead of typing an access code, you just put your finger next to the fingerprint sensor and it locks the lock. It's actually very well designed. I love the camera. The camera is probably my favorite portion because I didn't want a Ring, but I didn't want to pay like a monthly fee for like the, I guess it's the cloud or the storage. So I wanted something, well, first of all, I needed to get a new lock, and then this worked out perfectly. The ease of use, Kay found it a little bit difficult to use at first with actual buttons, but actually on the buttons, you have to enter the buttons, and then there's like a fingerprint symbol on the front of the face of the camera, which is right here. You can see this like little fingerprint. So what you do is you enter the buttons, and then you press this, and this unlocks it. You can have up to 3 tries to open the door, and you can see this is the first try, it's green, but sometimes if you don't type it properly, this will turn red, and so it will keep counting. So on the 3rd try, you actually need, I believe, like a master access code to be able to get into the house. And over here you can see the fingerprint sensor is what I like. The camera is up here, and this is actually a solar panel area, whereas the battery should not be used as much. It is used this solar panel to kind of like power up the battery as well. If you flip this over, you get a manual key, like a normal key. You plug it in, you unlock the lock. To me, that's great. So you have many ways of unlocking it, and also there is on the side, there is if the battery dies on the side, there is actual, you get I believe, I can't remember those, like the rectangular batteries. You just plug it on the side and it will activate the lock. Again, obviously you have to use the master key or your access key. But overall, I think this is a great lock. It does a lot of things and it does them well. And if you ask me, would I recommend this lock to anyone? You know, it's not a fancy lock where it's gonna like, if someone's trying to break into your house, they're gonna break into your house. It's not gonna stop them from doing that. But it's a very easy to install lock, a very nice lock. It's good for what it needs to do. It can record, you can talk to people, you can keep track of your logs, who's come in, who's come out. If you have an Airbnb, I would recommend this lock because it's phenomenal. You can activate a code really easy through the app if someone needs to walk into the Airbnb, or if they just get the Airbnb right now, you can just give them the code right away, they can walk into it. So I'll give it, if you ask me from 0 to 10, I'll give it probably a 7.5, 8. And honestly, if you ask me, is there anything that you really would not get this lock for? I wouldn't say yes, but there is one thing that really bothers me is every time there's a motion detected, even though I have it almost on the lowest setting, because 3 feet is probably this much, and someone really needs to come to the door to activate the camera recording and everything. So I set it on 8 feet. It's basically a normal patio, basically, when you walk out the door and you actually hit the sidewalk. It's about 8 feet. So I set it up to that, but it still catches the motion of cars driving by, because it's more than 8 feet. So I'm not sure exactly how the actual setting works. But cars drive by, it catches the motion, and every time there's motion detected, it makes a dual beep beep sound. And to me, if you're inside the house, they can get kind of annoying. I haven't figured out a way to turn it off yet. I'm gonna keep researching, but it just gets annoying. It's a very like low-pitched sound too. So if you're not listening really, you're not gonna hear it. So if let's say you're watching TV or you're playing games on the computer or on the video games or listening to music, whatever, you're not gonna hear it. But if it's like quiet in the house, you're trying to take a nap, you would hear it sound. And now it says this, hey, there's motion being detected, which could be good at night. It could be good, could be helpful. But overall, this is a great product. I'll recommend it to anyone. Obviously, I purchased the newest Vision Elite, which is a little bit pricey. I paid about $4.99. I think there was like about $30 discount on Amazon if you buy it through Amazon, because if you buy it through their website, they charge you an actual like a shipping fee. I think they use Shopify or something like that, so it's just extra fees. It makes no sense. It is pricey, but for what it is, for what you pay, actually I believe it's a great product. You get the memory card that comes with like a separate, like a Wi-Fi router modem, whatever you want to call it, where everything gets stored on there. It's not using a lot of it. It's perfect for a home. It's perfect for an Airbnb as well. So I would highly recommend this product if you guys are in the search for changing your lock, or maybe making your home a little bit more smart and trying different locks. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know it was a little bit lengthy. I wanted to do the installation and the review in one video, so it's gonna go a little bit longer. If you stuck around through the whole video, I want to say thank you. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys later.